Welcome back to the Tide Hangout. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for May 31st, the last day of the month. Gonna kick June off hard with a lot of great news, whole lot of things happening this week, and a couple of surprises coming up. First thing I want to talk about is the reissue of Fans Toys FT22 Coot. Now, this took me by surprise. I found out about it Friday afternoon, and then a few hours later I found out he was sold out everywhere. Now, I checked all of the US sites and they were in stock in the afternoon, and then later in the evening they were out of stock. I don't see them yet on any of the overseas sites just yet, so I don't know why they're not showing up there. Maybe they'll show up there later. Watch out for it. The good news is, though, even if they are sold out everywhere, that means there's still going to be some stock coming in, and you might be able to grab one for a good price. But here's the funny thing. When this figure initially released, the first run was about $80 to $100, depending on where you bought it. And now it's $130. So definitely seeing some inflation on that, some price increase. But I'm also hearing that Smokey is probably going to be the next one selling out and hard to get. So if you don't have your pre-order in for that one and you plan to get it, get your pre-order in. It wouldn't hurt anything at all. Okay, so a few things I saw on Show Z that I thought were pretty cool. There's this Pose Toy Pose Plus Machine Robo Metal Series P Plus 04 Bakanfu. This is a $500 item, $507. But it looks really cool. I don't believe it has any sort of transformation to it. It is made of die-cast metal and plastic. It is 12 inches almost. But it says it includes 3 figures, so I don't know if the 3 figures make up the one big one. I'm not 100% sure how all that works. I think it's like kind of like a figure inside of a figure inside of a figure. That this picture here shows the whole figure inside of a figure inside of a figure concept. Definitely interesting looking figure. Definitely something that you can pick up on Show Z. Another thing on Show Z that I'm seeing is this Oimech. It's the KO oversized version of the Twin Dragon Center Twin. Here's the thing. This figure, this set, it is bigger, slightly bigger, maybe 25% bigger than the original ones they made. I think they were the Power of Prime series, but they were basically Combiner Wars, upscaled them, and I hope this set ends up looking good. I feel like every one of these releases has been solid, but I don't feel like they've made improvements, and some of the guns don't match. But in the end, I don't really care about those little piddly things. I want a solid, good-looking combine mode. I hope they really do a great job with that, and in the end, I have a nice set on the shelf that looks good. That's all I care about. Okay, so let's talk about some 3-0 Transformers Bumblebee Optimus Prime premium collectible figure. It feels like this going to be the third one, or they just keep talking about the same one over and over? But this is a big, massive, great-looking figure. It's going to have die-cast and plastic. It's going to be almost 19 inches tall. So we're talking the size of, almost the size of like a Zeta Combiner. So big. And then it's going to have 140 movable joints. And it's going to be due out in early March of 2021. Pictures were just recently updated. So this looks pretty cool. I know that 3-0 or 3A or whatever we're calling these company these days does great work, and this is definitely something to look forward to. On that same note, we have the 3A Deluxe Scale Jet Power Optimus Prime, made with die-cast and plastic. Doesn't have the official height just yet, and it says may feature removable armor. So this is something new, and this is like super new news on this thing coming out. I think that this is one of the cooler things that came out of the movies, although I don't want to think of Jetfire the way they represented Jetfire. Doesn't really matter. I bet you it's going to be awesome. So we've got pictures of the new Ultimetal Megatron. Now this is that, almost $700 Megatron, non-transformable, but it's not really just a statue. He's very posable, and he's going to be about 17 inches tall. This figure is actually going to be released sometime in the fall of next year, of 2021. And has a lot of cutaway, like you can remove pieces to see the inner workings and the pistons and all of that. That's kind of what shows in this picture. Here he is all with just his normal armor and get up and setup. It is a bit stylized. Now all these Ultimetals are a bit stylized. I think they've already done a Megatron and not Megatron, Optimus Prime and an Ultra Magnus. Still, it does look pretty cool, and it's impressive with the size and the height. That's going to have a light-up cannon, and it looks like the cannon opens a bit, but I don't know, maybe that's just the way the cannon looks. But it appears to have a light-up cannon. And here he is in the back. Now, you can clean this up really well because there's no transformation. So you can make it as clean as you want, so the thing better look clean from all angles. So we've reported in the past that there is going to be a separate head piece. I didn't realize that the rings and the head were separate, but the Zeta Unicron, or now it's called something else, the 01 Studio Cell Unicron. Everything we've seen shows him without a head and shows him without his rings, I guess. I didn't really pay attention to that. But without the head and the rings, this is considered an upgrade kit to that. And with it, most of the retailers are probably going to be including it. But this is a picture, this is what it looks like, this is what you'll be getting. So how many of y'all remember the YOLO Park Optimus Prime, the big one that's coming out? It's going to be massive. I think it's almost 2 foot, something like that. Anyway, that's the same one that you saw when you move the arm, gears move and pistons move. Same with the legs. Now with this, they're showing head articulation. You can lift the head up and you can have, well, neck articulation. And that's kind of interesting. It doesn't surprise me with the amount of articulation and amount of detail they've put into this figure. It's going to have an amount of a price that's pretty high. But the thing is that this works best with one of these Bumblebee movie or movie series because there's so many small parts. This kind of thing is effective with that style and that design, and I kind of look forward to seeing the end product. Flames Toys has come out with their Kuri Megatron, and just more pictures of it that we can see. Definitely looks good. I'm not familiar with where this comes from, but it's pretty stylized, but it still looks cool. I mean, it's sleek. I do like the design. I do like the way it looks. There it is. So Masterpiece MPM-10 Starscream. More pictures of this guy. Of course, it does really match the movie. The on-screen movie counterpart matches it very well. Looks like he gets a little saw right there. That's going to be a whole lot of fun, I'm sure, to cut some stuff up with. And there's another accessory with this hand. That's cool. You know, I'm looking at it though. I don't see a whole lot of paint on it. It looks like a lot of bare plastic, which I don't really know how I feel about that. I would think it should be a little bit better. This is Takara, right? So I would expect a little bit more paint. But there are a lot of gold accents which look good. So that works. So at this point in time, I'm starting to feel like every week we're hearing there's a new movie masterpiece getting released. What's next? Well, they're going to announce another one next week. I don't know what it's going to be. So here we are. Any speculation or guesses, go ahead and put them in the comments down below. But I wish it would be like, hey, we got another G1 coming next week. So I really starting to see the writing on the wall that Takara is leading the move away from G1. Kind of sad. So we've got some pictures of the hand-painted version of the prototype of Nicey RC Firebird, and looks good. See, this is what I like about the figure. I like that she has the metallic paint with the pink metallic paint. Looks really good. I think the figure is going to look great overall in the end. And here she is next to a movie Bumblebee, so she's going to be a little shorter than a movie Bumblebee, but I'm sure she's tall enough for an RC. Here she is in alternate paint. This is an alternate paint job. Now, I don't have all the details on it, but I'm starting to think they're going to re-release this same figure, this same mold with a bunch of different color schemes. I could see that happening, and it doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't bother me. I think it looked good. But I really think the alt mode is where this figure does shine. I mean, it's a cool looking figure, but the alt mode looks beautiful. It is a bit of a stylized take on RC, but it is really encompassing of the look of that alt mode. It just really works. I don't have any problems with it. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so Perfect Effects is putting out their 10th anniversary repaint of their PEDX11. It's going to be the PEDX11B Dark Warrior, and this is a pretty cool looking figure. Here it is in bomb mode with all the accessories. It's going to come with it. And of course, it's getting an extra. I understand that big blue blade saber is new. I really didn't pay close attention to the first release of this guy, but there's good news coming for that. Here it is in its alt mode, and it looks pretty clean. That's a pretty clean looking alt mode. They're also going to be putting back out the first one. So this guy right here, and yeah, it looks good. It looked good, I guess, when it came out before. And of course, there's the alt mode on that one. So if you're into this kind of thing, go ahead and watch out for it and pick them up. So Magic Square is just straight up killing it. Magic Square is doing a great job with this mold for their Soundwave. I really like the way it looks. We now know that we're going to get 2 tapes with it. We're going to get Rumble. The blue is Rumble. And then we're going to get I forget what that little droid's called. Anyway, that's kind of interesting that they went that route. I would have rather have seen a Ravage and a Rumble in the set, but I guess they know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing. I really wish they would put these things out in a masterpiece scale. Like, they're messing around in the Legends scale, which is great, but I do think Magic Square has the ability to play at a high level in the masterpiece level. Now, here's why I think they're not doing it. The reason I think that they're just staying with the Legends is for profitability. I think the Legends are 2 or 3 times more profitable than doing a masterpiece, because when you think about it, they're the quarter of the size but only half the price. So that's just where it is. I mean, the amount of plastic that you have to put into it is far less, and but still has almost the same amount of engineering. Probably only about 60% the engineering, 70% the engineering. If they upscaled this, they would have to re-engineer a few pieces, but I'd still love to see it. Piggybacking off of their Soundwave, though, is their Megatron. And again, more pictures of their Megatron for Magic Square. And I know it's going to be a better looking version for me than New Age. Even though I have New Age, and I'm surprised by New Age's being as good as it is. This one just looks so much better. I mean, this looks more Megatron-y to me, if that's a word. As Megatron-y, I've just made that word. But I think he does look good. I mean, don't worry about a mistransformed crotch plate. That's a mistransformation. Don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. But I think it is going to be awesome. He's going to have LED lights, which is something I think is awesome that you could put into such a small figure. So, I'm down with that. And then here's his super clean alt mode. That looks good. I mean, I think they did a great job with this figure. I'm looking forward to it. And with all this talk of Magic Square, what Magic Square's put down, now don't forget about New Age. They've got a Soundwave coming too. So New Age has one on the way. Which one do you think looks better for the Soundwave? Put in the comments. So we have seen product images. Now we're seeing packaging images of the Titan class Scorponok. Now, this just looks like a box that I would expect to see. Here is the box with the figure. And I think the packaging is fine. I don't think it's anything that's, far outside of what we would expect to see from Hasbro at this point. And it looks good. The big deal is when you see the packaging images, it's usually like a couple weeks later, people start finding them. They start showing up somewhere. So that's the exciting part about getting the packaging images. So hopefully this thing does start showing up soon. So we've seen some pictures floating around of the 3 Earthrise Seekers. And of course the Starscream sold separately. The 2-pack is its own deal. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that myself. And I really think this mold looks great with all 3 of them in a set. Man, that looks good. That really does look good. They make a great looking team. Starts to make you wonder what the Coneheads will look like. Yeah, the Coneheads will look good too, right? Real quick, if you're in your Walmart, you might want to have a look and see if you can find this Netflix version of Ultra Magnus on sale for 35 bucks. Because I found mine on sale for 35 bucks. I went and got one. It's pretty cool, but you do need to understand something before you buy it. Before you buy it, you need to understand that they look different. So on the left, you get the Netflix version that you get at Walmart. On the right, you get the Siege version. So I actually prefer the color scheme of the Siege better than the Netflix color scheme. But I prefer the $35 price much better. And I think you get more out of it. More accessories and stuff. But here's the other thing. I would want to put the add-on kit. So this DNA DK14 upgrade kit that literally upgrades him up about another 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I don't know exactly how tall it makes him, but doesn't that look good? So just remember, these are all things to think about and options if you get this set. Speaking of upgrades and options, Non-F Productions is making an upgrade kit for your Earthrise Optimus Prime trailer. It includes 1 ramp or rear door, 2 fenders for exterior color choice, 2 side supports so you have a color choice, 2 support feet black, 1 bumper gray, 1 hitch black, 1 light kit clear red, 2 of the console's interior so you have a color choice, 1 drone arm gray, drone radar gray, 2 drone missiles dark gray, 1 gas filler set black, and 1 roller set roller coaster. So this turns it into basically your G1, and it looks great. This is what it's going to look like after you get all the stuff on it. If I have to be the one to say it, I guess I'll be the one to say it. Hasbro should have included all that in the first place, especially at the $50 price point. It's sad that we're going to spend another $25 to turn this into a $70 figure, $75 figure, to get what we should have gotten in the first place. But man, that trailer does look good with all of the upgrades. So we've got pictures of someone who made a cardboard Jazz. Now there was a cardboard, was it Grimlock? I think it was a cardboard Grimlock that was made last time. So first off, I keep thinking of like the art of origami, but this is far beyond just origami and folding paper. This is a massive feat. I don't know how this is getting accomplished, and to this amazing level, it looks awesome. Here is another angle of, just look at the detail. Look at that. You can see that it truly is cardboard. You can see it's just all the detail that went into this. That just looks amazing. I wonder how long it took to make this thing. Like, that would be interesting to find that information out. Here is a better close-up of the head and all of the detail, all the little bitty pieces of cardboard that it took to get there. Here is the alt mode. So the alt mode looks good. It transforms. Yeah, this sucker transforms. That's another impressive feat, all in that. And so, kind of thinking about, okay, how would you transform a Jazz? You're not going to have mass shifting in cardboard, obviously. So I'm just impressed that it did everything that it did. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably having a really good week with all of the announcements, all the stuff going on. But here we are with an Ezra Bridger live-action TV series in the talks, I guess you could say. It's rumor still at this point, but it wouldn't surprise me if we have a Rebels live-action show. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, Rebels was so popular, it was so big. But I'm also starting to wonder, has the time passed? Like, would it be a bad idea to do it? What do you guys think? Well, the time hasn't passed to make figures for Rebels, because they have a whole wave. I guess this is going to be the whole crew. And here they are, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. Zeb is in the front, you could see, and he is going to be a $30 figure. He's going to be a deluxe scale. He's going to be huge. He's going to be a big figure. And then they're re-releasing Chopper, Ezra, which is really hard to get right now. Kanan, which it was a big story that they completely discontinued Kanan, but here he's back again. Discontinued doesn't mean anything to Hasbro, right? And then Hera, Sabine, and Ahsoka. Funny thing is, Ahsoka's already sold out for all the pre-orders. They announced her, and instantly she sold out. That's amazing. So here's a couple more pictures of Zeb. And to see, I don't think we've seen a figure of this character released with any articulation whatsoever. So I think the only figure that's been released for Zeb is just the 5 POA one that just isn't very exciting. This, you have a lot of articulation. He's going to be massive. He's going to be huge. He was huge in the show. So it kind of makes sense. Here he is in a different stance, in a different pose, with his gun. And I think a lot of people are really going to get excited about this when it comes out. Here's a pretty good picture of, well, pretty much everything that we're going to be getting in Black Series for maybe the remainder of the year. I don't know, but what's coming up. And looks like a pretty exciting lineup of figures, if you ask me. Now, I'm excited for this, Admiral Ackbar, but I was too little too late, and he's sold out already on pre-orders. I'm sure I'll get my hands on one, but it's not the end of the world. But look at the different packaging. Now, you probably saw and noticed the packaging in some of the other pictures, but they're changing the packaging over to where it's different. You have a picture of the character on the side. You have a different color scheme based on what realm or era or what part of Star Wars it is. I do like it better. And I'm hearing the packaging is smaller, and I'm hearing there's a slight angle on the left side, which they're not showing. So, still a lot more to come to this packaging. So, the packaging on this is going to be like Siege, kind of. Like the Siege and Earthrise packaging, which is still really kind of cool. But you also see in the back, we got the Ewok there. Okay, here's a picture of... This is supposed to be a carbonized Darth Vader. And he's got a bit of a blue tint to him. But I don't see that this is carbonized. Anyway, there's Darth Vader, and then behind him is Luke. So, I mean, we've gotten so many of these Luke Skywalkers in this gear. I remember when it was hard to find them anywhere. Now they're abundant, and this is the 4th iteration, right? Here we come with Mandalorian in Beskar. Now this is awesome. The Mandalorian Beskar. Now none of the pre-orders are up for these guys just yet, just the Rebels ones and Ackbar. But I think this guy is going to sell out right away too, like instantly. Because the Beskar armor one, people are mutilating standard Mandalorian figures to make custom Beskar armor, which, you know, you do whatever you want your figures. But we all knew one was coming, just wait. Like, why would you mutilate your figure and do a custom just knowing another one, official one's coming? Hey, do what you want with your figures, but I don't like mutilating figures myself. And here we go with a clone trooper, the Camino clone trooper. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't remember it looking so gray. I don't know why. Maybe I just missed that, but here it is, Camino clone trooper. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. Anything that's really exciting going on out there that I missed, like and subscribe. Tydirium Hager, out.